Hey guys, it's Mike Lapierre. It is, what is today? June the 13th, 2016. Welcome to Gun Owner Against Violence. I'm your host, Mike Lapierre. Boy, if you've been watching the news, I can't even describe the kind of tragedy that happened yesterday. I'm sure you've seen it, heard about it, have thoughts, feelings, and opinions about it, as do I. There's just not much in the way of redeeming or anything positive coming out of that, I'll tell you. A whole lot of innocent people have been hurt and will continue to be hurt, no matter how you look at it. So let me try to break that down. Obviously, let's start with the immediate victims of that heinous crime. The people in that bar, just innocent people out there having a good time on a Saturday night. Whatever your feelings are about homosexuality, no one deserves that. You know, I can't say that I like it or that I'm comfortable with it, but I accept it. It's just a part of it's a reality that's existed throughout time. There's always been a percentage of people that are homosexual, and I've known plenty of homosexuals over the years. Even though I can't really relate to what goes on in their bedrooms, I can certainly relate to other aspects of their lives. I've had plenty of friends, relatives, co-workers, neighbors that were homosexual. There's tons of people that I care about and love who are homosexual, and they have a right to all the rights everyone else has, and they certainly have a right to pursue whatever their idea of happiness is, even if it's different from my idea of happiness. They have a right to that, and I'm very libertarian in that respect. I'm very much live and let live. We all have whatever choices we want to make, as long as they're not hurting someone else, to pursue our dreams and goals and whatever it is we want in our lives. We all have a right to do that. We don't necessarily have to agree with each other's ideas of what that is, but we all have a right to do that, as long as you're not out there victimizing or hurting innocent people or damaging the environment. Knock yourself out. You know, whatever your thing is, that's yours to pursue. So there's a whole lot of innocent people who were killed, and a lot of innocent family members and friends, loved ones, who were having to deal with that. I just can't imagine how heartbreaking that is. And there was a really heartbreaking image. I stopped watching the news around 3 p.m. Eastern yesterday, Sunday, but I picked up a few things on social media and YouTube. And one of the images that I found the most disturbing is the image of law enforcement in there working on the crime scene, trying to gather evidence and just deal with everything that's in there. And there's dozens of dead people laying around, and most of them have a cell phone on them, and those cell phones are going off left and right. Their loved ones have probably seen the news, and they're trying to check in with them and see if they're okay. And they're obviously not okay. They're worse than not okay. And that's just a heartbreaking image and disturbing idea to try to wrap your mind around. And I can't imagine what that must have been like for the law enforcement people in there, and just all those family members and loved ones and friends who were trying to reach out to them when they finally learned the news. So it's just tragic no matter how you slice it. No one deserves that, no matter what your thoughts, feelings, and opinions are about homosexuality. But those aren't the only people who are going to pay. There are a lot of innocent people who are going to pay. There are innocent Muslims who are going to pay, and innocent gun owners who are going to pay. And yes, that's a very controversial topic on both counts. There's divisiveness and rancor and a high level of passion. And that's fine. We can agree to disagree, but I have strong opinions on both of those, and I'm going to talk about it. Let's talk first about the Muslims. I think somewhere along the line we have to make an agreement in our society that we're going to make a distinction between normal Muslims and radicalized Muslims, because there is a difference. If you don't make that difference, it's factually incorrect, it's intellectually lazy, it's bigotry, and it's damaging. It's damaging to our culture to be spewing that person to person or on social media. And if you don't think that there's a difference, I'm going to ask you to think again, because my former wife was a Muslim. We have our differences. We've parted ways. We're divorced now. But she's a good person. She has character and integrity. She doesn't condone or endorse anything like that, and neither does her family. And I loved her family, and her family loved me. I've known Muslims on a very close and personal level. The people I knew and loved and who loved me are not radicalized freaks, fanatics who go out and do things like that or condone that or celebrate that or think anything positive about that. That is just fucked up. And I've experienced it firsthand. When she and I used to go to retailers and restaurants, we used to get hateful looks, because she wore the Muslim scarf on her head. Routinely get those looks. And it bothered me more than it bothered her, which is good, because she's the one who wears that, and it's her choice and her decision. I respect that, and I honor that, especially considering what a hostile environment it is. It says a lot about her character, the strength of her character and her convictions to do that. And it's painful for me when I hear people not make a distinction between normal Muslims and radicalized Muslims. I worry about her safety. I worry about the safety of her and her family and their extended community that they know, and I would not want to see innocent people harmed. I truly worry about their safety. And I don't, considering what happened yesterday, I don't think that's going to be getting better anytime soon, that social condition. That is extremely troubling for me. So let's switch over now to lawful gun owners. Same exact thing. This is a social issue, a diversity issue as well. In the conversations that are happening, people are not making a distinction between lawful gun owners and violent criminals who criminally misuse firearms. There's a massive difference on that. And the same exact deal is what I said between the Muslims and the radicalized Muslims. If you are not making that distinction between the two, you are factually incorrect, you're intellectually lazy, and you are a bigot. It is what it is, my friends. It is what it is. It is what it is. And then there's, of course, just the rest of society that has to deal with this divisiveness and this hate and this anger and this impotent rage that we're all feeling. What do we do about these things? What do we do about these things? Blaming innocent Muslims isn't the answer. Blaming innocent lawful gun owners isn't the answer. Just because one person does a really fucked up thing doesn't mean that all Muslims or all gun owners condone that or are like that or would do that. We really need to collectively start making that distinction. Seriously. Because we're going down a dangerous path, of where this is going to lead us as far as social unrest and divisiveness and just seeing this escalate into violence, just from people arguing about it. We're not headed to a good place. We're not headed to a good place with this. What else did I have on that? I've got plenty on it. I'm going to pause here for a minute and just recollect my thoughts.